questions 11 and 12. So you guys covered this last Wednesday when I was out. If you need any help on this, feel free to send me a message. We can set up a time to talk, and I can help you get through any problems like these or the ones we'll go through after this. So in this case, what is the concentration in molarity, of course, of an ammonia solution if 12.23 grams are dissolved in enough water to make 560 mils of solution? Okay, the equations are going to be given on your test, the molarity equation and the dilution equation. So no need to memorize those. But identify what you're given to begin with. We know we want to know molarity. What else do we know? We know we have a mass of 12.23 grams, and we know that we have a volume of 560 milliliters. My molarity equation is molarity equals moles per volume in liters. So if I don't have moles, I have to convert to moles. I don't have my volume in liters, so I'll have to convert to liters. So let's start with converting mass from grams to moles. 12.23 grams. This is ammonia. I want to go to moles. This is where we learned back in the fall, I don't even remember which module, to use our molar mass to convert from grams to moles. So molar mass of NH3, I'll add up as we've done 1,000 times. I have 3 hydrogens. Nitrogen is 14.01. So 17.04 grams per mole. You guys see that? Yep. 17.04 grams is 1 mole. Grams of NH3 will cancel. And I'll be given 0.7177 moles. Okay, got that? And then I need to convert this to liters. If you need to write this out the long way, please do. But very simply, move the decimal 3 places, 0.5600 liters. And then I'll plug those values into my molarity equation. Remember, molarity is moles over volume in liters. 0.7177 moles over 0.5600 liters. Punch that in your calculator. Our givens were both given with 4 significant figures, so my answer should have 4 significant figures. 1.282 molar. Okay, moving on to number 12. There will be questions like this on your test. So make sure you're comfortable solving, rearranging this equation and solving for molarity, solving if you're given molarity, solving for volume or moles, or if you need to solve for grams, solving for moles and then converting to grams. Make sure you're comfortable doing that. Okay, 12. If a chemist has a stock solution of hydrobromic acid that is 10 molar and would like to make 450 mils of 3 molar hydrobromic acid, how would he or she do it? So anytime we're talking about a stock solution and making a weaker solution, or if I have a weaker solution and I want to know stuff about my stock solution, that's always going to be your dilution equation, which is M1V1 equals M2V2. So identify what you're given and what you're trying to solve for. A lot of these questions are worded like, how would he or she do it? And it wants you to say, solve for one of those, and then say you would add this to this much, whatever. On your test, it's just going to ask you to solve for the missing variable. So what am I given? I have a stock solution that is 10 molar. So that's M1 equals 10 molar. And I would like to make 450 mils of 3 molar. So this is my V2 and my M2. In the case of this equation, my volume does not have to be in liters. If you are given two volumes, they need to be in the same unit if you're solving for molarity 1 or molarity 2. But in this case, I can solve with my volume in mils, and my other volume will just be in mils. That's okay. So rearrange this to solve for, we want to know V1, how much of my initial solution do I need to make the dilution? Okay, so solve this for V1. I'll divide both sides by M1 to move it over and get V1 equals M2 V2 over M1. And then I'll plug in the values that I have. So M2 is 3 molar, V2 450 mils, M1. Check your units. My molarity is going to cancel and I'll be left with milliliters, which makes sense if I'm solving for a volume. So plug it into your calculator. And I get 135 milliliters. In this problem, my lowest significant figure value was 2 significant figures. So I need to round this to 2 significant figures, which would put this at 140 milliliters. As usual, I'm not counting off for significant figures on the test, so don't stress that.